Welcome to the Ordinary Council meeting of Muswellbrook Shire Council, being held in the TEC meeting room, level 1, Tertiary Education Centre at 87 Hill Street, Muswellbrook, on Tuesday the 23rd of June 2026. I declare the meeting open at 5 p.m. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and will be made available on Council's website. We have applications for attendance via audio visual link. An application for attendance via audio visual link has been received from Councillor Drayton, Councillor Dunn and Councillor Hartley. Is there a mover and seconder that authority be given to Councillor Drayton, Councillor Dunn and Councillor Hartley to attend the council meeting via video link due to work commitments and leave arrangements of the Shire? Yes. Councillor Bailey and Councillor McNeil. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, I declare the motion carried. Acknowledgement of country to be read by Councillor Barrett.
Muswellbrook Shire Council is proud to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we work and live. We pay our respects to First Nations leaders and elders, past, present and emerging, who are the keepers of history, traditions, knowledge and culture. We commit to working in collaboration with traditional owners in the spirit of reconciliation and partnership. As we meet today, let us reflect on the knowledge and stories that have been shared on this land for thousands of generations and commit to walking together in a spirit of respect and understanding.
Thank you. The civic prayer to be read by Councillor Bailey.
Almighty God, from whom comes every good and perfect gift, we give you thanks for the blessings you bestow upon us in this Shire. Grant to those who hold office in this council the spirit of justice and truth, of wisdom and charity, that mindful of our responsibility and of the needs of those we serve, we may promote the true welfare of your people, exercise wisely and faithfully the authority committed to us, and advance the common good. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Apologies and applications for a leave of absence. Council has received an apology from Councillor Scholes and Councillor Mahajan. Is there a mover and seconder that the apologies for inability to attend the meeting submitted by Councillor Scholes and Councillor Mahajan be accepted and the necessary leave of absence be granted? Councillor Mahajan. Seconder, Councillor Barry. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, I declare the motion carried. Confirmation of minutes. Ordinary Council meeting held on the 26th of May 2026 and the Extraordinary Council meeting held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that the minutes of the Ordinary Council meeting held on the 26th of May 2026 and the Extraordinary Council meeting held on the 9th of June 2026, copies of which have been distributed to all members, be taken as read and confirmed as a true record. Is there a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Morris. Seconder, Councillor Marshall. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. A disclosure of any pecuniary and non-pecuniary interest. I'll start with you, Councillor.
Now, I've got a significant non-pecuniary on item 16.5, the Dem and Planning and Development Committee. I actually have a conflict of interest because I have a family member who is an applicant for appointment as a community representative.
I'll go to the Councillor Drayton. Councillor Hartley.
You guys are muted?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got me now?
Sorry, that's operator error.
I've got three tonight. Item 9.3.1, Mac Energy S138 Roads Act 1993 permit Castle Rock Road dedication. WY 9.3.2 Wybong Road culvert replacement and 9.3.5 Castle Rock Road realignment, signage, and line marking. All three of those I've got a significant pecuniary interest in. I work on the site that Mac Energy owns.
Councillor Bailey, you're right. Insignificant non-pecuniary, I also have 9.3.1 Mac Energy S138 Roads Act 1993 permits Castle Rock Road dedication, 9.3.2 Wyvong Road culvert replacement, 9.3.3 Wyvong Road temporary closure for the construction of the Wyvong culvert upgrade works, and 9.3.5 Castle Rock realignment, signage and line marking as I work at the mine that's owned by Mac Energy. Thank you.
I have two myself. 9.3.1, the Mac Energy S138 Roads Act 1993, the permit for Castle Rock Road. I actually have an insignificant non-pecuniary one, as my son has a contract with one of the suppliers out there. And then for 9.4, the community and economy. So 9.4.1, awarding of the community grant. I have a significant pecuniary as I work for Wonnarua, and it's a Wonnarua Native Day grant. Business arising from previous minutes. There is nil business arising. Sorry. Forgot the mayoral minutes. So 7.1 is a rescission motion in regards to the code of meeting practice. On behalf of the Mayor, I recommend that Council rescinds resolution number 339 of the Ordinary Council meeting held on the 26th of May 2026 relating to item 9.2.1, the draft code of meeting practice, and reinstates previous code of meeting practice, which is dated the 25th of May 2025. I move it. If I have a seconder. Councillor McNeil. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. Those against? I declare the motion carried. Now we get to business arising from the previous meeting. There is nil business arising. So the business report, so 9.1 planning and environment, 9.1.1 the draft planning agreement DA 2022-92-194 lot subdivision Armand Street, Denman. The recommendation in the business paper is that Council endorses the draft planning agreement for DA 2022-92 provided in attachment A for public notification and exhibition in accordance with the Environmental Planning and Assessment Act of 1979 and the Environment Planning and Assessment Regulation 2021. And 2, delegates authority to the General Manager to execute the planning agreement following public exhibition and to make appropriate amendments to the planning agreement which do not alter the intent of the draft planning agreement as exhibited or result in material changes to the planning agreement following consideration of the public submission. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Ward. Councillor Marshall. Questions? Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. (9.1.2) the monthly report to Council, Planning, Environment and Regulatory Services. The recommendation in the business paper is the information contained in this report to be noted. Do I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor McNeil. A seconder? Councillor Barry. Councillor McNeil, do you wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Barry? Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. Those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 9.2.1, 2026, 2027, operational plan, budget estimates, revenue policy, fees and charges. Council recommendation in the business paper is that one, council adopts the 2026, 2027 operational plan, including the budget, statement of revenue policy and fees and charges in accordance with section 532 of the Local Government Act of 1993. Two, acknowledges that the draft 2026, 2027 operational plan, including the budget, statement of revenue policy and fees and charges, was placed on public exhibition for a period of 28 days and considered public submissions received during the period of public exhibition. Three, that fees and charges be amended to include a 50% discount, being $3.50 for senior card holders, applied to the 2026, 2027 fees and charges for single entry fee for the Musbrook and Denman Aquatic Centre. And the preamble of the beginning of council fees and charges be replaced with Council's annual revenue policy, fees and charges, provides a 25% discount for local registered charities and not-for-profit community groups, including schools, for the casual use of council's facilities for bookings that are not for commercial purposes. Requests for further discounts will require an application under council's community grants program. The payment of deposit bonds and other charges are still required where applicable. Do I have a mover? Councillor Morris, seconder. Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you.
Marshall.
I'd just like to amend the general manager to see if Owen or would ask for great one. Thank you.
Yeah, does anyone else wish to talk? Councillor Ward.
All of these things you've discussed. That's all. Yeah. If I could,
Yes.
Council would have raised the issue of reducing further the fees and charges for hall hire, particularly down the Monroe Hall, to a rate that's greater than has been considered in the amended resolution. If council board and council supportive, we would respectfully recommend that we don't at this point in time implement those suggestions, even though they are excellent suggestions and in the community. From the perspective of council ward five as a councillor, that the concessions that have been included in the recommendations at this point in time appear to us to be appropriate and that will provide a significant benefit to the community. That's it. I think that's the point that we've right.
I actually wanted to speak to it. But I don't understand. Oh, I didn't stand in the chair. I just want to point out that that doesn't preclude any of these groups actually coming and going through the community grants program to be able to get a full 100% discount on that. That's still applicable under what we've just put forward.
Sorry, Councillor Ward and councillors. There was one other point I did neglect to mention, please. But the consideration of the reduction in concessions is that they apply to not-for-profit groups at schools and registered charities. We consider that perhaps we don't want to apply those concessions to corporate bodies and profit-making entities, but we think it's appropriate they pay the fees and charges.
Does anyone else want to speak for the motion? Does anyone want to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 9.2.2, 2026 and 2027, making of the rates and annual charges. The recommendation in the business paper is that council makes the rates and charges for the 2026, 2027 financial year as listed in the report. Do I have a move on? Morris. Seconder. Councillor Bailey. Councillor Rice, you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Bailey?
No.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anybody want to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 9.2.3. The draft private infrastructure in road reserves policy for public exhibition. The recommendation in the business paper is that council endorses the draft private infrastructure in roads reserve policy for public exhibition via council's website for a period of 28 days. If no submissions are received in relation to the draft private infrastructure in roads reserve policy during the public exhibition period, then council resolves to adopt the draft private infrastructure in local roads reserves policy on the day following the conclusion of the exhibition period, and 3, if submissions are received in relation to the draft private infrastructure in roads reserve policy during the public exhibition period, then a further report will be submitted to council for consideration of submissions received during the exhibition period. Do I have a mover? Councillor Marshall. Seconder. Councillor Morris. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor Morris.
No, thank you.
Does anyone else want to speak for the motion? Does anybody want to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Nine point 2.4, report on investments held as of the 31st of May 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes council's investments as of the 31st of May 2026. Do I have a mover? The Ward. Seconder. Morris. Councillor Ward, would you like to speak to the motion?
Please. I mean,
145 million investments in all units.
Councillor Morris.
No, thank you. Well, yeah, other than congratulating on a running yield of 5.1%, which is exceptional in these times. Actually, that's I don't expect the next one to quite be that high, but well done on this one.
Anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 9.2.5, the write-off of irrecoverable sundry debts 2025-2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves the write-off of sundry uncollectible debts totalling $271,440.68 as detailed in the report. In accordance with clause 213 of the Local Government General Regulation 2021, is there a mover? Councillor Morris. Seconder. Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor Marshall. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion?
Question, Madam Deputy Mayor, is there anything council could implement to try and prevent a reoccurrence, especially of the major loss?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I'll ask Councillor Sear.
Yeah, so there's through the future fund in particular where
regards to the commercial properties, so we have a team working as best they can to ensure that, yeah, these situations go away in the future. And I want to what's that?
With that particular one becoming, receivership, at the time, there was very little arrears for that business. It was about how they, was about the commercial terms that, that they got out of that arrangement, and council held them to account in terms of that, and that's what these charges were raised against. So, what that means is, there were commercial terms under the lease that they used to exit this arrangement. Council held them to account under another set of commercial terms that actually were current and on foot, and we raised those arrears related to that. So it was a charge the council raised at the time. It was correct, but it wasn't a result of managing arrears in that particular case. We were just trying to hold them to account, because what happened is it was a lease, and they terminated under an old lease. And they terminated under the old lease, there was additional charges because of the commercial nature, and also I've done explanation of that, because of the commercial nature. That's probably as much as I can say. It was with COVID. Yes. It was with COVID, but it was they relied on an old lease to terminate, but they've actually been paying under a new lease, and so we charged them the rates under the old lease. If they were relying on that old lease to terminate, we went back and we revisited all the invoices, and that's what they have to pay. If that's how they were going to proceed. So there was no rate of use at the time, but essentially we're holding them to account of the commercial terms that they were acting under.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion?
Just a clarification with Councillor McNeil, I think your question was what's being done to prevent that from happening again, I think was the question. I thought it was an answer for that one.
Yes, certainly. So that particular circumstance, and it did relate to COVID, there's probably not that much we could do to avoid that situation. But as the Chief Financial Officer said, managing those arrears, because with some of these commercial amounts, it doesn't take much, you know, a month or two, we've got quite a large amount, and that's what we're continuing to be diligent about. Chief Financial Officer has fortnightly with meeting staff involved, and we manage those amounts closely.
Anybody else wish have any questions or wish to speak to the motion? Does anybody wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. So 9.3, infrastructure and property. Just wait for a couple of people to leave the room.
I've got the screen, it's working. Don't know where he's going to
So 9.3.1, Map Energy S138 Roads Act 1993 permit for Castle Rock Road. Dedication. The recommendation in the business paper is that council authorises the general manager to approve the S.138 Roads Act 1993 permit application submitted by Map Energy for the following actions once the portion of the land proposed as new road is dedicated as a public road. 1, the continuation of the Northern Link Road construction works to reach practical completion in preparation for opening the realignment portion of the road to traffic, and 2, restrict public access across the Northern Link Road until practical completion has been achieved. Do I have a mover? Marshall. Seconder, councillor McNeil. Councillor Marshall, would you like to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor McNeil. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. So,
Madam Chair, just a question procedurally, now that councillor Dunn has joined us, do we need to request any pecuniary or non-pecuniary
from
declaration?
councillor Dunn, we should do that. Councillor Dunn, do you have any, now that you've joined our meeting, do you have any pecuniary interest or thing to declare? Conflicts of interest?
Yeah. You're muted. You're muted.
Have any?
Non-pecuniary, I have a niece in year 12, so with the grant for Musselbrook High School for the half the rent, for the library rooms. I'll have to leave for that.
Thank you, councillor Dunn. Thank you,
Thank you.
councillor Morris. 9.3.2. No, she's still out for this.
Yeah, still have this one in the next
Yes, still out for this.
Yes,
9.3.2, Wybong Road culvert replacement. The recommendation in the business paper is that council, 1, accepts the plans for the Wybong Road culvert upgrade works. 2, accepts the review of environmental factors for the construction of the Wybong Road culvert upgrade works. And 3, approves the temporary closure of Wybong Road to undertake the Wybong Road culvert upgrade works. Is there a mover? Councillor Ward. Seconder, councillor Marshall. Councillor Ward, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thanks.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anybody wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried.
Very nervous.
Okay, we keep going. 9.3.3, the Wybong Road temporary closure for the construction of the Wybong Road culvert upgrade works. The recommendation in the business paper is that council uses its delegated authority to 1, approve the closure of Wybong Road east to through traffic from October to December 2026 inclusive, to enable the construction of a new major culvert located at 2.683 kilometres from the Cayuga Road intersection, and 2, notes the construction strategy provided by Mac Energy to support the closure. Do I have a mover? Seconder? Thank you, councillor Morris. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Morris?
No, thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone want to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried.
Should be able to come back in for this one and then go back out again. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they-
Just gonna- So we're
Kind of
going to
help.
go.
We're doing the other one.
So we're going to skip to 9.3.5 while we have people out of the room. Castle Rock Road realignment, signage and line marking. The recommendation in the business paper is that council uses its delegated authority to approve the installation of the following signage and line marking as shown on the plans attached to the report. 1, double barrier BL2 separation lines on the realignment portion of Castle Rock Road from the intersection of Cayuga Road for a length of 5.3 kilometres. 2, stop sign R1-1B, including advanced signage W3-1B and associated toll line TF on A, the new alignment of Castle Rock Road at the intersection of Cayuga Road. B, Dorset Road where it intersects with the new realignment Castle Rock Road. C, Belgrave Access Road where it intersects with the new realigned Castle Rock Road, and D, Laurie's Lane, where it intersects with Cayuga Road. Do I have a mover? Councillor Marshall. Seconder, Councillor Bailey. Councillor Barry, sorry. Getting ahead of myself there. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Barry. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. We'll wait for everyone to re-enter the room and then we can go back to 9.3.4. That's great. So 9.3.4, addition of Wybong Road as State Road under Road Maintenance Council Contract, RMCC, 2026 to 2027 onwards. The recommendation in the business paper is that Council approves 1, Wybong Road from the intersection of Bengala Road to the Golden Highway for a distance of 34 kilometres approximately, to be maintained under Roads Maintenance Council's contract, RMCC, and expenses for the routine maintenance works will be claimed from Transport for New South Wales under the RMCC contract. And 2, individually priced works orders, IPWO, including AC heavy patching resurfacing, granular heavy patching, and asphalt overlay works or other works requested by Transport for New South Wales to be carried out on the section of Wybong Road by Muswellbrook Shire Council or council-approved subcontractors and later be claimed from Transport for New South Wales. Do I have a mover? Councillor Ward. Councillor Martin.
And way. We have.
Councillor Marshall.
I'd just like to commend the council officer for a great outcome. So, that improved the process in my road.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Good one. 9.3.6. That's right. The change to the school bus zone times at Maitland Street. The recommendation in the business paper is that Council uses its delegated authority to approve the change to the bus zone times on the northern side of Maitland Street, adjacent to the South Muswellbrook Public School from bus zone 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. school days to bus zone 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 to 4 p.m. school days. Do I have a mover?
That's right.
Can I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak to the motion?
I just say I think it's a great outcome. It was a very heavy traffic chaos there through the day. Buses would come and go.
Councillor Barry? Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Nine 9.3.7, the Capital Works Program. So this is Roads and Drainage 2026-27. The recommendation in the business paper is that Council endorses the attached priority list of work for the undertaking of the 2026-27 Capital Works programs to the limit of available funding under the various programs. Footpath renewals as per attachment 1, tram renewals as per attachment 2, Curb and gutter renewals as per attachment 3, road sealing as per attachment 4, heavy patching as per attachment 5, and new footpath as per attachment 6. Do I have a mover? Councillor Morris. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Ward. Councillor Morris, would you like to speak?
No, thank you.
And then? Absolutely great. Right. Yeah, but, yeah. Brilliant, and one. And okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Councillor Ward. These are this curb failures in Paxton Street, from the intersection towards the schools. And also there's a tree there that is impacting on the curb and gutter.
Yeah.
You have to, I know you've raised the matter of the curb and gutter before. We'll look at that to make sure it's in the program, Councillor Ward. And we have a defect replaced for the tree. That's acceptable. And we'll, if it's okay, to Madam Chair, Council, we'll get back to you about the curb and gutter. I'll let you know where it sits in the priorities.
Talk about what
This, we have pipe works, that run across Paxton Street at the intersection.
Yeah.
They are scheduled as well, mate. Yeah. We'll provide you with an update on that if that's okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak for the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion? I declare the motion carried. 9.3.8, the community consultation period for groundwater monitoring station licence. The recommendation in the business paper is that the information contained in the report to be noted. Do I have a mover? Seconder. McNeil. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Councillor McNeil. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion? I declare the motion carried. Nine point 3.9. Upper Hunter Community Services and Community Centre Extension. The recommendation in the business paper is that Council 1 supports Upper Hunter Community Services request for the installation of a new sewer junction box through funding the works and inspections either by the contractor or works in kind by Council Works, Networks team and plumbing apprentices, and 2 waivers inspection fees for this work. Is there a mover? Is there a seconder?
Yeah.
Councillor McNeil. Councillor Morris, do you wish to speak?
Yeah, thank you.
Councillor McNeil. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. I've declared an interest in the following item. I now ask Councillor Marshall to assume the role of chair for the conduct of this item.
Nine point 4.1, awarding of a community grant for Wanneroo local Aboriginal Land Council 20 26, NAIDOC Family Funder. Recommendation in the business account paper is that council approves a community grant fee waiver of $1,393.00 for the holding of the 2026 NAIDOC Week celebrations in Muswellbrook on Sunday, the 12th of July, 2026. Do I have a mover? So, Neil, councillor. Orange, sorry. If anyone to speak to the motion, go back out. No? Anyone to speak against the motion? That's move the motion. Put all those in favour. Those against? That concludes this item. I will now hand over the meeting to councillor Douglas, who will conduct the remaining of the meeting. Not letting go yet.
Thank you. Nine point 4.2, awarding of the community grant or contribution for Muswellbrook High School.
I'll just have to leave. We'll be better.
Just we can't speak.
For the library seminar room hire. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves a community grant fee waiver for the Muswellbrook High School equivalent to $3,580 for the staging of the 2026 school examinations in the seminar room of Muswellbrook Library in July, September and October in 2026. Do I have a mover? Second. Anyone? Councillor Barry. Would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Marshall?
No, thank you.
Councillor Barry. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Or wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I now declare the motion carried. Somebody please let Councillor Dunn know that you please.
I can't do that.
No.
Just duck around her house.
Right. Councillor Dunn. 20, Councillor Dunn.
Okay.
Which way is Councillor Dunn?
Yeah, good, thank you.
There's the.
Yeah.
9.4.3, awarding of a community grant or contribution for Muswellbrook Childcare Centre for their softball replacement. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves funding of $12,500 to Muswellbrook Childcare Centre under the Community Grants and Contributions Program 2025-26 for the replacement of outdoor softball surfacing at the Muswellbrook Childcare Centre. Do I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Morris. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Barry, can get it right?
Yeah.
Councillor Morris, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Barry?
I don't know how many people in the room or in the community have had children that have gone through Muswellbrook Childcare Centre, but this is money well spent.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried.
Yeah.
9.4.4, Germany on Mine Rehabilitation and Post-Mining Transformation Delegation, 20th to the 25th of September 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council approves the mayor and the director of community and economy and up to 2 other council officers to attend the mine rehabilitation and post-mining transformation tour in Germany scheduled for 20th to the 25th of September 2026. Do I have a mover? Councillor Marshall. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bailey. Councillor Marshall, would you like to speak to the motion?
Probably start, if we have the names of the other two, council start.
Through the chair, thank you. We've requested for additional people to attend. The mayor and myself were invited to participate as part of the delegation. We won't know until those expressions of interest have been finalised. They want to have a really diverse mix of industry, business and university participants. So once we have confirmation of those expressions of interest, we'll be able to confirm that you are able to.
Sorry,
Councillor
Chair.
Drake.
Yeah, if I could, if the mover and seconder were prepared to accept a small amendment, I would like to make an amendment that, obviously pending numbers, as Director of Economy, Community Economy just said, pending acceptance, I would like it that if there was 4 people, so if there was myself and the Director of Community and Economy, that one of the other 2 people were in fact a councillor rather than staff of council. So if 4 were to go, if that was what was accepted by the group, that 2 would be staff and 2 would be councillors, which is myself and 1 other, rather than 2 other staff. If the mover and seconder were prepared to accept that as a small amendment.
So Councillor Marshall, do you accept that amendment?
That's why.
Councillor Bailey, do you accept the amendment that council approves the mayor and director of community and economy and up to 1 other councillor and 1 other councillor officer to attend the mine rehabilitation and post-mining transformation tour of Germany scheduled for the 20th to 25th of September 2026. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion?
Clarification, if I could, where the Director of Community Economy suggested it was not council staff, but other qualified people. Is that correct? As the potential to other people, which has now changed, you suggested it was other qualified people, not staff.
No, we have requested that, so the mayor and myself have been invited to participate, and we've requested from the Australian German Chamber of Commerce and Industry whether or not we could have 2 additional people attend that delegation. We didn't specify to them who that would be, we just were asked there was additional space that we would be able to have other delegates attend. In terms of their overall makeup of the delegation, they're really trying to get a diverse range of skills and experience from our region. So we've extended invitations to our mines, power stations, to the University of Newcastle, and other businesses to come on that delegation.
They'll give you the 4.
That was my point with I'll beg your pardon.
Council. He's talking to himself.
Where it says here, council staff.
It's just council officers.
Fits in.
Council officers, yeah. 2 other council officers, yeah.
Okay. So we've just changed that to be 1 council officer and 1 council.
My understanding that this is subject to approval.
This is subject to
Outside of
additional.
yes, of yourself and councillor Rowe.
And the other.
Yes.
Thank
So I've reread the text, so does anyone else want to speak to the motion? Anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Okay, 10 minutes of the committee meeting. So 10.1, the Muswellbrook Sport and Recreation Committee meeting minutes from the 2nd of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Muswellbrook Sport and Recreation Committee held on the 2nd of June 2026. Do I have a mover? Seconder?
Wait.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor, oh, there you go, Councillor Hartley.
Yeah.
Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Hartley, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Councillor McNeil?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Just a question, clarification. Has the issue of Olympic Park tennis and lighting been resolved to the satisfaction of both parties?
No, you can. You feel better than that.
Thank you, Councillor Neil, and then Chair. That was raised at the last meeting, and I mean, we'll be raised with. And I'm used to tag since possible. We're committed to doing it before the end of the financial year. Yes, and with the construction. And with the construction costs. So we've come with some practical options that may be available. Thank you very much.
Just add that, I think, that meeting, it was, I think it was a bit of clarification on what actually was happening as far as the lights went. On that thing, Mr. What do you call it? Taggart knew exactly what was happening. I think that's why the meeting with the construction purple.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.2, the Denman Sport and Recreation Committee meeting from the 4th of June 2026 minutes. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Denman Sport and Recreation Committee meeting held on the 4th of June 26. Do I have a mover? Okay, so
You were there.
do I have a seconder? Councillor Craig. Councillor Hartley, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Bailey?
No, thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.3, the minutes of the local transport forum held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the local transport forum held on the 9th of June 2026. Do I have a mover? Councillor Marshall. Do I have a seconder? Do I have a seconder? Oh, Councillor Hartley, sorry. Councillor Marshall, do you wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Hartley, do you wish to speak
No,
to the
thank you.
motion?
No, thank you.
Do I have anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.4, the State Significant Development Committee meeting, which was held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the State Significant Development Committee held on the 9th of June 2026 and adopts the recommendations contained therein. Do I have a mover? Councillor Ward, do I have a seconder? Councillor Barry. Councillor Ward, do you wish to speak to the motion? No. Councillor Barry? Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.5, the Finance and Governance Committee meeting held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Finance and Governance Committee held on the 9th of June 2026 and adopts the recommendations contained therein. Do I have a mover? Councillor Morris. Seconder, Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Marshall.
No, thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.6, the Infrastructure and Property Committee meeting held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Infrastructure and Property Committee meeting held on the 9th of June 2026 and adopts the recommendations contained therein. Do I have a mover? Councillor Morris. Seconder, Councillor Ward. Councillor Morris, wish to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Ward. Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. 10.7, Future Fund Committee meeting held on the 9th of June 2026. The recommendation in the business paper is that council notes the minutes of the meeting of the Future Fund Committee held on the 9th of June 2026 and adopts the recommendations contained therein. Do I have a mover? Councillor Morris. Seconder, Councillor Marshall. Councillor Morris, do you need to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Marshall.
No, thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak against the motion? I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion, raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. There is no notices of motion. Do councillors have anything they wish to report on? We'll start with you, Councillor Morris.
No, thank you.
Councillor reports.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Just two reports relating to the AGL CCC. I hardly can believe it, but I had a phone call last week informing that the HP turbine is arriving on council property sometime this week.
Should make you very happy.
I'm so excited. It's a very unique piece of engineering, born out of the Charles Perkins discovery in 1884, which actually transformed generation around the world, transformed shipping. And this particular turbine is unique in that it's not an atypical HP turbine. It has a reverse flow characteristic to overcome thrust, axial thrust, and there's just very few of them around. So extremely grateful to AGL. There was many hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it out and intact and negotiate with the demolition team. So yeah, very, very happy about that. The next one was, again, come out of discussions with the CCC, was AGL is now opening their door for educational purposes. I think we take for granted in this community, or this area, the wealth of equipment, technology, machinery that people have to be around to witness. So they've opened their doors to regional, to anybody, but regional centres that don't have that. And tomorrow I'll be touring with staff from Tamil TAFE College. And they can witness what we take for granted. So yeah, thank you.
Councillor Dunn, was your hand raised in regards to Councillor McNeil's report, or do you have something to report?
No, I have something to report, thank you. I attended the 150th anniversary of St Albans on Sunday, and it was a lovely day. A lovely service. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Barron, do you have anything to report? Councillor Drayton?
Yeah, just briefly, I attended the Muswellbrook TAFE with Emily Savale. In regards to the new facility there where apprentice high voltage electricians, in fact, she tells me, the TAFE tell us now, are studying over there to work. So it's certainly, it's great to have Muswellbrook TAFE leading the way on that. I've also recently met with the NZEA, so the Net Zero Economy Authority Chair and CEO, in regards to some issues in this area, and particularly some issues that Muswellbrook Shire are requesting or requiring, probably closer to the mark. If there's any councillors around, any councillors around tomorrow, I do encourage them to go to the NZEA board meeting that'll be held in Muswellbrook, and certainly if you get the opportunity, let the NZEA know let them know your view on what we think should or shouldn't happen in Muswellbrook.
Thank you, Councillor Drayton. Councillor Hartley? Councillor Dunn?
Mayor Drayton, would you be able to email us the details of that meeting tomorrow, please?
Yeah, I can. I'm not sure exactly what time it starts, but certainly I understand that the public are welcome to attend that meeting. And as I say, any councillors that can, I encourage them to attend.
Yeah, thanks.
Councillor Bailey? Councillor Martin?
Maybe it's Chamber of Commerce Industry Awards night. It was very well presented, I thought, and one of our councillors picked up that prize for his business. Morris. Yeah.
Councillor Ward, do you have it?
Yeah. You're welcome. One.
No, we've fucking lost it.
I think we're about to go into close council.
We can hear you.
Mute yourself.
I was just going to say, I heard you.
We all did.
Sorry.
Councillor Ward?
What's the box?
Yeah. One. So is this councillor report or councillor question? Report. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get it.
It's a councillor report. Yeah. You're welcome.
Tour of
Motion number?
That's a good answer. So, this is pump station one. Yes.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. But you've had a look at that councillor, would have you? Oh, no. Because we were looking at, it's almost completely initial now. We were looking at inviting councillor down to have a look. Yeah. And certainly councillor Drayton is aware of it. It's a really great project for council. Yeah. That's the most important sort of pumping station in town, and work's been able to do something like 20 years. It's great to have you.
Be sure you'd want to do that. So I just want to support what Councillor Drayton said. I met with the board of the Net Zero today when they had their meeting, and they're very, very keen and very, very supportive of Muswellbrook Shire and the work that's been done here. And you've got to mention Councillor Drake. So they were very interested to hear what's happening in our community and where we see any issues. So about what he said about going and meeting with them. Okay, so written questions. There are no written questions. Questions for next meeting. Do any councillors have any questions for next meeting? Councillor Morris, we'll start with you.
No.
Yes, Madam Deputy Mayor, I have 4, if you could be indulged. I've written it down for the purpose of the minutes. And for clarity, and if possible, can we have the answers of these following questions be provided in writing at the next ordinary council meeting? Don't want to really discuss them now. But could council please provide councillors with a detailed plan of when and where AGL's generous donation by the Dorothy P. Turbine will be displayed? Number 2, would council please consider providing a space or a home for the unique items that are being collected from the Dorothy Power Station? And that would be the purpose for them to be available to the public. I can provide this. And number 3, would council please explain the process and criteria that would allow consideration for a member of the public to speak in public petition, i.e. on matters that are not directly related to items in the council business papers, as the Muswellbrook Police recently did on crime statistics. 4, if you could just indulge me of a small preamble so the question makes sense. The Muswellbrook local government area experiences 16.1 per 100 adults experiencing high to very high psychological distress, which is way above the New South Wales state average of around 13. These mental health challenges are often compounded by regional socio-economic pressures. And on the youth side, within the broader Hunter and New England, 41.3% of young people aged 16 to 24 experience mental health disorder. This age group also exhibits 6.4% rate of self-harm, which is slightly above the New South Wales average. Financial insecurity and sudden changes are known to trigger and worsen mental health issues in both adults and children, creating a compounding effect of further financial stress. Stresses are transferred from adult to children within the family unit. There's more statistics, but I'll just go to the question. Given Muswellbrook's LGA is facing what many are calling an impending economic cliff, which obviously goes to those triggers for more mental health issues, with massive industry closures, does Muswellbrook Council have a proportionate plan to help manage the associated impact in mental health? If yes, can that be outlined to councillors? Just the quotes, international information from the National Health Institute, Black Dog Institute, and the IRJ. Thank you.
Councillor Drayton. Councillor Hartley. Councillor Dunn. Councillor Bailey. Councillor Marshall.
Just maybe if we're going to arrange an update on what's going on at pump station 4 is Bell Street pump station. We get a bit of an update on what's happened there in the last 4 weeks.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thanks, Madam Chair. We did have numerous discussions and a lot of work carried out there. I understand the work has been completed now. Replacement of the number of pumps.
There's 2 pumps to be replaced in 3 months' time. Essentially, this is work to enable that to happen. There was an issue with the odor control. That's all been, picked up, and that was the greatest concern. So until we do the installation of these pumps now, the work is complete.
So the odor won't be there after the pumps are replaced, no? Because we have had that before.
It shouldn't be there, councillor Marsh, that should be resolved.
Thank you. Anything myself either. So adjournment into closed council. Is there a mover and seconder that council adjourns in a closed session and members of the press and public be excluded from the meeting of the closed session and access to the correspondence and reports relating to the items considered during the course of the closed session be withheld unless declassified by separate resolution. This action is taken in accordance with section 10A2 of the Local Government Act 1993 as the items listed come within the provisionals outlined in section 17 below. Do I have a mover? Councillor McNeil. Seconder. Councillor Barry. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, raise your hand. All those against the motion. I declare the motion carried.
He went, I suppose, yeah.
He got-
Okay, we are now in open council. 16.1 T072627 HUN supply and delivery of stationery. The recommendation in the business paper was that council resolves to award contract T072627 HUN supply and delivery of stationery to Australian Graphic and Office Supplies Proprietary Limited, trading as Stewart and Dunn Office Choice, and Sharp Electronics Newcastle Unit Trust, trading as Sharp Office, as panel source suppliers to Muswellbrook Shire Council for the period of the 1st of July 2026 to the 30th of June 2028, and approved a provision to be allowed for a 12-month extension based on satisfactory supplier performance, which may take this contract to the 30th of June 2026. That motion was carried. 16.2 tender 2025-26-0698 for water and wastewater condition assessment of 2026. Council declines to accept any tenders received for contracts 2025-26-0698 water and wastewater condition assessments 2026 due to the amount of qualifications and departures of tenders and value for money considerations. And in accordance with clause 1783E of the Local Government General Regulation 2021, delegates to the General Manager authority to enter into negotiations with any person for contract for 2005-2026-0698 water and wastewater condition assessment 2026, and the negotiated outcome to be reported to council for resolution. That motion was carried. 16.3 property potential property purchase. Council approved the recommendation in the report to not proceed with the acquisition of the property. That motion was carried. 16.4 Marketplace Laneway. Council delegated to the General Manager authority to enter into negotiations with the party in the report, ensuring equitable treatment for all parties, consistent with the original without prejudice offer, and requests a further report provided to council following negotiations. That motion was carried. 16.5 Denman Planning and Development Committee. Council endorsed the attached Denman Planning and Development Committee reference group terms of reference. Council endorsed Councillor Barry and Councillor Ward as representatives of the Denman Planning and Development Community Reference Group, and Council endorsed Brett Woodruff, Aaron Moon, Emma Newton and Ben Knott as community representatives, and Amanda Collins as a representative of the Denman Chamber of Commerce, and Jay Shepson as the representative of the property sector on the Denman Planning and Development Community Reference Group. That motion was carried. 16.6 the waste collection zone extension for Armand Street, Denman. Council approved extending the waste collection zone to the end of Armand Street, Denman, and noted that this approval excludes the property identified in the report that does not front Armand Street. That motion was carried. 16.7 the bulky waste modernisation options cost estimates. Council noted the information contained in the report. That motion was carried. That brings us to the end of business. I declare the meeting closed at 6:53 p.m. Thank you everyone for